Welcome to the Explainer. You know, most stories usually end when someone wakes up from a coma. But for this one, that's exactly where the nightmare begins. We're diving into a story that starts with open eyes and a really, really bad feeling.
So picture this. Our narrator's last memory is totally mundane. He was just driving home from the grocery store. Then, out of nowhere, this freak accident. A power line snaps, there's a flash of light, and then nothing. The next thing he knows, he's waking up, but the world he's woken up in is not the one he left behind.
He wakes up in what looks like his own home, but it just feels wrong. Everything is smaller, distorted, almost like he's looking at a funhouse mirror version of his own life. It's this incredibly creepy feeling of being a stranger in a place that should be familiar. So just as he's trying to process this warped reality, a sound just shatters the silence. It's this loud, agonized scream coming from his neighbor's house. And just like that, his attention is ripped away from his own strange situation and pulled toward the horror happening right next door. This new home of his is less of a home and more of a box. It's sparse, confining, almost like a cell. And the strangest detail? There's an old rotary phone sitting there, a complete relic. It's another one of those signs that, yeah, this place is familiar, but it is absolutely not right. And when he looks out his window, he sees the source of that scream. It's his neighbor, Mr. Parker, a guy he knew as quiet, kind, a simple dude. But the man he's seeing now, he's a monster. His face is twisted with rage, and he's viciously attacking someone. The friendly neighbor is gone, replaced by this thing in black leather gloves, dragging a body into the basement. After he's done boarding up the basement door, Parker just stops. He turns, and he looks directly at our narrator's window. Their eyes lock, and there's no surprise on Parker's face, no fear, just cold, silent acknowledgement. It was a warning, plain and simple. So his first instinct is to call for help, right? He lunges for that weird old phone, and of course, it's completely dead. No dial tone, nothing. And in that moment, he realizes he is totally, completely alone. So he does what every single character in a horror movie does. He decides he has to go in there himself. Okay, let's talk about this plan, because it is, well, it's something. His big idea for a distraction is a rotten tomato from the garbage. But hey, when you're desperate, you're desperate. And the craziest part, it actually works. Once he gets inside, it's not just one thing that's wrong, it's everything. The house is like a museum of madness. There's this slow, eerie music playing instead of Parker's usual loud stuff. One room is just filled with decaying mannequins. The bathtub is packed with water bottles, and he finds a book on dark magic stashed in the furnace. Every clue just screams that this guy has gone completely off the deep end. So his mission, remember, is to find the person who's trapped in the basement. But as he's searching for a way to get in, he stumbles onto a secret that's way darker, buried right there beneath his feet. He finds a key, and get this, it's clutched in the hand of one of those creepy mannequins. He thinks this must be for the basement, but it doesn't fit. Instead, it unlocks a different door he hadn't noticed before, right near the kitchen. He opens the door, and the smell just hits him like a ton of bricks. It's the unmistakable stench of decay. This isn't some prop. He looks inside, and there, carved right into the floor of the house, is a freshly dug grave. And this is where it gets really, really strange. This isn't just random horror. It's like a twisted puzzle. The house itself seems to be guiding him, leaving him this bizarre trail of clues. He finds a bell, which opens a safe. The safe has a shovel. The shovel unearths a child's coffin. And inside, held by this poor little kid, is a teddy bear holding the key to the basement. So he needs another distraction so he can actually use the basement key. He just grabs one of Parker's shoes to chuck at a window. But as he picks it up, he sees a number stamped on the sole, 666. It's just this small, chilling detail that confirms something truly demonic is going on here. All right, he's got the key. He knows he has to go for it. He unlocks the basement door and heads down into the darkness, knowing full well that the man, or the monster, who built this whole nightmare is still upstairs. He calls out and hears the door open above him. A shadow just spills down the stairs. It's long, heavy, and it just looks unnatural. And for a split second, he swears he can see it. The silhouette has horns on its head. Mr. Parker is coming down, but he is not just a man anymore.
The final showdown is just absolute chaos. He manages to hit Parker with a hammer, frees the captive, and they make a desperate run for it. But the house itself turns on them. Every door, every window is suddenly blocked by these silent, unmoving mannequins. And then Parker just appears. He's not angry anymore. He's calm, and he's holding the shovel. One sharp blow, and everything just goes black.
He wakes up in a coffin. Dirt is pouring down, filling his mouth, his lungs. He's being buried alive. He's suffocating. He takes one last, desperate gasp for air, and his eyes fly open. He's not in a coffin. He's in a clean, white room. His face is broken. He's missing teeth. He's hooked up to machines, but he is alive. He's in a hospital. A doctor comes in and explains what happened. That car crash, the falling power line, that was all real. He's been in a coma for months. And the entire horrifying ordeal, the tiny house, the demonic neighbor, the grave, it was all a vivid, terrifying nightmare his own mind cooked up. And then comes the biggest twist of all. Our narrator asks who found him after the crash, and the doctor tells him it was his neighbor, Mr. Parker. The villain of his nightmare was, in reality, the hero who saved his life. And then he sees him. Mr. Parker walks into the room and he's just a normal, friendly guy. He smiles, waves, asks how he's feeling, and you can just imagine the wave of relief. The nightmare is finally, truly over. But just when he thinks he's safe, just when he thinks the horror has passed, one final chilling image throws everything into question. He's recovering, feeling safe for the first time, and he happens to glance out his hospital window. And there, standing across the street, its head angled right at his room, is a single, solitary mannequin. So you have to ask yourself, was it really all just a dream, or has his nightmare followed him back into the real world?